Hey Braves. So I'm going to do this quick video. This is an update on several things. Number one, it's an update on my website. There's been some changes that I want to draw your attention to so that you know where to find things. Number two, it's an update to quickly remind you guys about the Q1 makeup project and how that will work. And finally, this is an update really to just ask you guys to send me feedback if you're having issues. I can't read minds. I can't. I've never met most of you face to face. I've met 12 of my students, and that's it. So out of the 100 of you, I've met 12%. So I don't know what problems you're having. The only line of information I have, if you're having issues, is the fact that you haven't turned in an assignment. And that doesn't tell me anything, especially right now. You are all doing different things. A lot of you have jobs. A lot of you have siblings to watch and help with their work as well. And some of you have sports. Some of you are playing football this year. Some of you are playing volleyball, things like that. I totally understand you got busy. I can't discern whether or not you didn't turn an assignment in because you didn't have time because you're working a job, or whether or not you did not turn an assignment in because you didn't know what to do, especially if you never email me or let me know. So what I am asking you guys straight up is to remember that we are all at home, digitally trying to work on all of this stuff. I'm not in a classroom where I get a feeling of how you're doing or what you're up to or what you're understanding when we're asking questions or looking at your faces as I'm talking about things and seeing looks of confusion or whatever. I can't even see that you're frustrated when you're working on your work, which if you're in class, I can visibly see if you're frustrated. And then that cues me into, hey, I need to go talk to Johnny over here because he looks like he's having a hard time. I don't have any of that information. I'm literally talking to myself right now on a computer, right? It seems like I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself in an empty room to a image of myself talking, okay? So I have no information coming at me about your performance except for what you turn in or what you don't turn in. So it's a yes or a no. And if you turn something in, a lot of times, it's the same answers across the board because a lot of you will copy and paste things off the internet. So then I really don't know whether or not you're learning, what issues you're having, what your conceptual hangups are. So if you are having issues with something, email me. Now, I've asked you guys not to email me to let me know that you've turned in missing assignments. That's helpful. Please don't email me about turning in missing assignments. My grade book is up to date. It's November 2. Every single assignment I have given you has been graded and put in the grade book. All of the late work has been checked and put in the grade book. Okay? So you don't need to email me to let me know. I get notifications from Google every time you turn something in. But if you're having issues, that's when I want you to email me so I can help you. I can give you assistance. Now, there's a great thing when we do the Labsters, you can actually use the chat feature there with somebody from Labster, and they will help you walk through whatever the issue is with Labster. So if a Labster gets stuck, if you're having an issue with the coding of Labster, there's an issue and it won't let you proceed to some part, you can use the support features there, and they're available 24/7. They get back to you really fast, right? I can't always get back to you as fast as those people can. But regardless, send me an email or some form of a communication to let me know what your issue is, and I'm more than happy to help you, okay? I'm not going to do your assignments for you, but I will help you to the correct answers or try and help you over whatever your confusion is. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about some updates to my website really quick. As I mentioned in a little while ago in one of my previous videos, we're not doing Zoom anymore. So when you go to my website, you'll notice the Zoom section is no longer there. The Zoom section, all of the videos that used to be there are now under science videos. And if you scroll down, they're on the bottom. So I have a whole section here with previous Zoom videos. And if you're still trying to finish up assignments and stuff like that, I do go through a lot of it there. So, go watch those if you still want to. I'm leaving them up just in case you need them. I will probably eventually take this whole section down sometime towards the end of this quarter. Anywho, so there's that update. Number two, since the Zoom isn't there anymore, the only Zoom link that is available now is down here under schedule. So this is my virtual office hours. Going back to what I was just saying, if you need help, one of the things I can do is set up a Zoom with you. Now, I'm going to be on Zoom every Monday and Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30, and on Wednesdays from 1:30 to 2:30, just sitting in my Zoom room by myself, twiddling my thumbs, waiting for somebody to come and ask me questions. This is the perfect time. If you're stuck on a project step, if you don't know what to do, or you're confused on something, or something's not working for you, go to my Zoom hours and ask me whatever it is that you're having an issue with. This is great because we can do screen shares. You can show me what's on your screen. I can show you what's on my screen. We can work through it together. It's a heck of a lot easier doing it on Zoom than it will be through email for most things. Okay, now for a quick little question, yeah, email is great. But if you're having a whole problem with how Labster's working, email is probably not going to be the place to get assistance with that. If you want me to look over one of your projects, I can go through your whole project. You can do a screen share with me and I can go through it and I can give you feedback in real time as opposed to trying to go back and forth via email. So virtual office hours, nobody's used them yet. I mean, for the last 8 weeks, I've been available every Monday and Wednesday pretty much. And I haven't had a single person come to those office hours. The only 2 kids who did so on mistake. They thought it was a mandatory Zoom. So show up to the virtual office hours. I'm here. I'm waiting for you. I want to help you. I'm really wanting to help you because I'm basically by myself all week in this room, staring at a computer. It's so lonely. You have no idea how lonely it is. No. So anyways, that is that. One more addition or one more change to my website has to do with the week ahead. And this really isn't a big change. It's just something I want to point out because some people might miss it because the change is a little subtle. You'll notice all of my weeks ahead before, there's only 1 per week. But now you're going to start seeing 2 per week. And the reason is that both general science and biology cover the same stuff in quarter 1, so you have the same lesson plans. Now, well, general science is moving on to physics, and biology is moving on to cellular biology. So you guys have different stuff. So make sure you're clicking on the right one. And that reminds me, the week ahead is how you know what to do each week and when things are due. There's a lot of important information in there. So make sure every Monday you go and read the week ahead so you can start planning out your week. Okay? Okay. All right. So that's my website updates. Last thing to talk about, and I am going to go through this very quick because I do have a lengthy video on this already, and that is your Q1 makeup project. So your Q1 makeup project is located in week 8, and this is a 1-to-1 replacement for all of the quarter 1 grades. So it replaces your first field investigation, it replaces your ecosystem relationships, and it replaces your ecosystem roles, as well as your biodiversity survey and the final analysis. So it replaces all of those grades. Because it replaces all of those grades, it has things for you to do that are very similar to each one of those parts of the project. So a lot of you did not go out to an ecosystem and collect data. And that's fine. I understand. Some of you just didn't want to leave your house. Some of you were way too busy. Some of you were just lazy. Let's be honest. Some of you were just lazy. Okay. Well, here's the thing. What I assigned in the project, you going out and taking pictures of examples of things that we find, that was an incredibly easy assignment. So long as you knew what a primary consumer was, well, all you had to do was go outside and find a bug that was eating a leaf, or take a picture of a cow or something like that, something eating grass or plants, and then just say, hey, this thing's eating plants. It's a primary consumer. And that was legitimately an entire step of the project. Just go find things, take a picture, and tell me why. Same thing with ecosystem relations. You just had to go out and find something that was displaying predation or displaying competition. Well, if you go take a picture of grass growing together, well, in like a lawn, just take a picture of your lawn. That's competition. Why? Because all that grass is growing together and trying to compete for resources. So it was really easy to go find those examples. Oh, hey, there's two trees growing really close to each other. Competition. Click. And then, hey, these two trees are competing for the same amount of resources, sunlight and water and soil, because they're so close together. Boom. And that was legitimately 2 project steps right there. Well, now, since we can't go outside and do all of that stuff, you have to go find examples online. And that's going to take some reading, because you can't just go out and see it. Instead, all that information that you would get by being in the ecosystem has to come through via text. And as you all know, because a lot of you have read books before, I hope. I mean, even if all you've ever done is read Harry Potter, think about that. It's like a 700-page book to give you a 2-hour movie. How long would it take you to read the first Harry Potter versus watching the movie? It would be a lot longer to read the book, even if you're a speed reader, right? So I want you guys to think about that when you're doing this makeup project. All the information you are going to get by being in the ecosystem, by seeing and hearing what is there, well, now the only way you can get that is via reading it text. So this makeup project is going to seem harder, and partly because it is. You actually have to read and then think about what you're reading, and then use your brain to project an image in your mind of what you're reading about. That's a heck of a lot more difficult than simply just going out, looking at it, taking a picture. So this isn't intentionally difficult, is really the point that I'm driving at. It's going to be more difficult simply because of what it is. You have to read about the stuff instead of just seeing it with your eyes. So I'll give you an example. If I'm going to go outside and I see a squirrel eating a nut, well, I don't have to go and read an article about squirrels and their diet to be able to discern whether or not it's a primary or a secondary consumer. I can just see, oh, that thing there is eating a nut. Oh, now he's eating a bug. He must be a secondary consumer. Boom, it's that fast. Whereas now in the project, you have to go and look up an organism in the Amazon. Then you have to go look up that organism's diet, read its diet, and then discern whether or not it's a primary or secondary consumer. That's a longer process than just seeing it, do the thing, and go, I know what that is. So again, it's not more intentionally difficult, this makeup project, but it is going to be more difficult just simply because of where we're at now. Okay. Really what I need to break down about this makeup project is that if you are missing, say, ecological roles, and that's the only step you're missing on the project, well, then you only need to fill out the ecological roles on the makeup project and then turn it in. And then when I go to grade it, I'll see that everything's blank except for ecosystem roles, and then that will clue me in as to what I need to go put the makeup grade in for, okay? If you're missing, say, ecological roles and ecosystem relationships, well, then that also means you're probably missing the other steps. If you're missing ecological relationships and ecological roles, do not go and do the biodiversity survey and the ecosystem analysis. You can't do the ecosystem analysis because you don't have the other steps, and it asks for that information. And then the biodiversity survey, since I'm not asking you to put photos in there, you could literally just make those numbers up. So if you didn't do the steps prior to biodiversity survey, that's showing me you're not actually going outside, and I'm just not going to accept that because, again, you can literally just fake it, and that's not cool. That's not acceptable, and we don't need to practice the behaviors that we don't want to exhibit when we're adults. Keep in mind, you are what you practice every day. So if you practice being deceitful, when you get older, you're going to be deceitful. And when you're older, the consequences are a lot more stiff than getting a detention after school for lying. So, you know, be cool. All right. Just be cool. That's all I got to say. Okay. So point being, If you're missing all of your steps, obviously you need to do the entire project. If you're missing ecological rules and ecological interactions, you can do from ecological interactions down. But I don't want you guys to freak out about how much work is here, because this was spread out over 8 weeks, and um, most of what you're doing, even though it's more difficult than the original project, this still isn't really that difficult to work. So I can give you some examples here of going through this stuff. For instance, how am I going to find a secondary consumer in the Amazon? Well, if you know what secondary consumers are, they're predators, they're omnivores, they're things that eat other creatures that move. So all I would have to do is go in here and type in Google, carnivores of the Amazon. And most likely I will get a list of different carnivores in the Amazon. And then I can just take the red-bellied piranha, add that photo and that name into this project here for predation, or whatever the step was. I thought I was just, yeah, there we go. For secondary consumer here, add that in. It would be the red-bellied piranha, and this organism eats. Well, then what do I know? How do I know that it eats blank? Where am I supposed to find that information? Well, okay, I know it's the red-bellied piranha, so check this out. Number one, it says they eat smaller fish right there. But let's say I can't find that information where I first find the name. Well, I just go in here and type in red-bellied piranha diet. And when I do that, boom, up pops the information that I need. So I would just go back and add that in. Boom, boom. Got my photo, got my name. Sorry, wrong one again. Got my photo, got my name, and then I got the diet of the animal. Boom, I'm done. Like these steps move very quickly. So anyways, this is your life raft. You're welcome to row yourselves into shore. If you just want to stay out there afloat, it's totally up to you. But this part of the project is due December 1st. So make sure you get this knocked out by December 1st on the due date, because I need the time to actually go through and grade it so that your semester grades are correct. Because I'm pretty sure if you're turning in the makeup project, you want me to grade it so it improves your grade. So you got to give me the time needed to get that graded and put in. And the reason I need about 2 weeks to get this done is because, don't forget, you guys are also working on other stuff. So I'll be grading all of that and still getting, lessons put together and the whole 9 yards. So it won't be immediate. It's going to take me time to get through all of these big projects. But that's just how it's going to be. So I guess the last thing to mention, now that I'm done talking about the project, I'm adding a section here called Q1 Help Videos. And this is all going to be me going through the assignments from the first quarter. And they will be titled, the name of the assignment, Help Video. And I'll just have it here. This is to help a lot of you get caught up who are far behind. So keep an eye out for videos to pop in there. I will probably let you know via email or a Google announcement that they're also there. But those will be popping up here soon. And other than that, guys, just keep trying. I know it's a difficult time. It's difficult for all of us. I definitely do not like distance learning anywhere near as much as I like having you guys in person. So it's a lot more difficult for me as much as it is for you. So I'm trying to be as nice as possible and give you guys all of the help I can. I'm trying to provide choice here. So if you don't like one video, you can go do the other thing. And I'm even cutting back on the amount of work that I'm giving you guys. If you guys look at what you actually have to do this week as opposed to weeks prior, you've got a reading assignment and a video to watch. And then you can get started on the scrapbook if you want. But then next week, the only thing you have to do is a scrapbook. So I am cutting back on the work even more. And that's going to make it tough to get through what we need to get through this year, but it's fine. But just let you know, I am trying to help you guys out the best I can. And, If you need more help, reach out. Just be specific about what you need help with. Okay, I lost a little bit of steam there. I don't know, maybe I need some more coffee. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.